Go ahead and film his face real quick. Here, I'll film real quick. This guy right here is Lee Leffridge. He is the owner of 805, or CrossFit 805. You can see on his shirt. He just competed in the CrossFit Challenge. Is that what it's called?
The CrossFit Open.
CrossFit Open. So his knee's been bothering him. Go ahead and start filming us now. His knee's been bothering him during the entire Open or Challenge. So before I was doing a lot of work inside the adductors, and it was especially tight here in the vastus medialis, which is, you can still feel some tenderness in there,
For sure.
but it definitely feels better. But he's been having pain recently back in here, right, on this side. When do you feel it hurt the most? Like squatting or lunging or?
Yeah, it's really squatting or anytime I really try to straighten my leg out.
So he's unable to straighten his leg out all the way, which obviously is classic for the hamstring tightness. So what the hamstring does is it comes along this way, but it comes over the knee joint and attaches below the joint, and then the calf, comes up over the knee and attaches on the other side. So they crisscross like this. But I can just feel right here that there's a really tight band in his hamstring on the inside. But you can also feel right there, that's tight too. That's a little bit of the adductor.
That's the part that's just been on fire all day.
Yeah, so he says an adductor tightness, which just feels like more like it's magnus. And the magnus runs into the medial hamstring. The magnus kind of does an adductor type of movement, but it also does the hamstring type movement. So it would be good to get the magnus along with the hamstring. And then obviously we'll still get in here into the vastus medialis too, make sure this whole complex is kind of loosened up. But before we start, I just want to check to see his range of motion. So we're going to bring up this leg, and that's really tight for him.
Yeah.
You'll see the other leg, he can get that to about 90 degrees, so that's as far as he can go. That's not super great. But it's good to know kind of where we're starting from. See this one, you can see that's where his normal flexibility is, and so that other one's obviously super, super tight. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to check this leg though and drop this one out. See, it's perfect. It's level with the table, so it's nice and loose through here. So we're going to check the other side. And you can see that the leg is up right here, so we know that he's tight through all of here. Another thing we're going to do is have him lay on this side. And then we're going to have him be totally straight. And we're going to try to straighten his leg out, his body and his trunk to his knee straight. And then we're going to try to bring his knee to his butt, which you can tell like he cannot go any further than that. And I can feel the tension mostly right here in the front, right? You can feel a little bit through here, but a lot of it's right there in the front. And another thing we're going to do is bring this leg forward a little bit more, and then see if we can drop this leg down. And see, his leg's dropping down pretty good, so it's not so much an IT band issue, it's really more of a quad issue, quad and the hamstring. But we're going to check the other side just to compare. So go to the other side. So same thing, we're going to bring it totally straight. And you can see that this one, he can go, although his quads are still tighter than I would like, you can almost get his heel to his butt without him straining too much. That does not hurt really at all.
No big deal.
So you can see the difference. This is where he should be on the other leg. So same thing, we're going to bring the leg forward, let the leg drop down, and once again, it's actually maybe a little tighter on this side. It's actually not going on as easy as it was on the other side, so he probably has a little bit of tightness, and you can even feel some tightness in the TFL, and a little bit of tightness in like the glute minimus area right here, which he's kind of demonstrating it hurts a little bit. So this side is a little bit tight through here and a little bit tight through here, so you could probably address just those two spots on this leg, but obviously the majority of the work is going to be on the side of the leg. So the first thing we're going to have him do is lay on his back, and I'm going to sit right here, and I'm going to work out the adductor. So we're going to do adductor magnus first, and I can even get in a little bit into his medial hamstring from this area right here. You can just, I can just feel how tight that is. So I'm going to start right here on the magnus. So right in there is pretty tender. Not too bad though, is it?
No.
My first time I worked on him, it was basically to the touch was super tender, just barely putting any pressure on it at all.
Yeah.
It would be super painful. So he's gotten to the point where that, and obviously he's very what's the word I'm looking for? Proactive, yeah. In foam rolling and stretching on his own. So obviously he's been able to loosen it up a lot on his own. And then with me kind of supplementing some of that therapy for him. So that area's kind of already loosening up. This area is a lot tender, more tender right here.
Yeah.
So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to work from here and then work all the way up here. And then I'll check back in with you guys and we'll start doing some hamstring stuff. Turn it off.
Yes.
Okay, so I just worked out the inside of his thigh, so I'm going to retest it by having him just kind of drop his leg open. And you can see that before it was about right there, and so now it's dropped down. It's not quite perfectly flat like the other side is, but it's doing much better. And what I'll do sometimes after I finish with go my elbow, I'll get it with my fingertips and just find a couple of areas that are still tight and just kind of loosen them up. And then like I said, after I loosen up this area, I'm going to get into his hamstring, loosen up that. Still feel tender right there?
Yeah.
Okay. So my fingertip I can just feel just a tiny bit better than with my elbow necessarily. But I've already loosened it up a lot with my elbow, so now it's just kind of finely tuning it and finally getting, getting the last little bit out of the muscle. You can push stop.
Yes.
So now I did the whole adductor side. Now we're going to get into his hamstring area, which has actually been causing him the problem. So I can literally feel that the tension's all through here. So I'm literally going to come down on an angle and loosen this thing up for him. Pretty nice right there?
Yep.
Not the most pleasant thing to experience, that's for sure. But within like 30 seconds, the muscle relaxes, releases, and then it feels better. And then you'll see when we test him, you'll see that his hamstring will be pretty close to back to normal again. Just takes a little bit of work. Okay, go ahead and stop it. You ready?
Yes.
Okay, so now we did the inside, we did some hamstring stuff, so we're going to see how much flexibility he has now. Before he was able to go to about right there, I think that was being generous with him. And now let's see how much higher we can go. So now we can bring it up to here, but he's still telling me he's feeling some tightness through here over the kneecap, and then he's feeling it back into here. So what I'm going to do is have him lay on his stomach real quick, and we're going to make sure and just loosen up right in this area. And you can feel how tender that is tight right in there. And what's interesting is this one's kind of a little bit more on the outside of the hamstring too on this one. So it looked like it was on the middle, on the inside hamstring, it was more up here. On the outside one, it's more up in here. So go ahead and lay on there. Down there. So now on this one, since I know it's on the outside, I know it's about right here, and I can actually feel how tight that is. So I'm just going to come in with my elbow, come through here, and loosen this area up for him. And lucky we're not looking at his face right now, because this feels really tight. So just like any other spot, it usually hurts for like 30 seconds or so, and then the muscle will relax, release, and feel better. So we're going to finish this, and then after this we'll test to see how much flexibility he has again.
Stop it.
Yeah.
I didn't get that on video.
We didn't? Okay, so I'm going to hit this one last spot right here. This is a good one right here. And then we're going to flip him over and see what kind of flexibility he has with this hamstring. So I'm really getting in deep in this one spot. In about 30 seconds from now, I should loosen up. And I can feel it kind of easing up right now.
You hear the crunchies.
Yeah, so what you will hear crunchies. It's the muscle. There's like adhesions and stuff in there. Plus, there's also calcium buildup that happens in the muscle. So everything's kind of breaking up, and then it allows for the lymph system and the blood system to flush it out of there. That's feeling better, Lee?
Yeah.
Okay. You kind of feel it slowly kind of loosening up. So now I'm actually pushing him a lot harder, and he's not bouncing off the table, so must be doing better. Okay, now we're going to lay on his back again. So we're going to check a good leg first, just to show you the difference. So that's as far as you can go. This one. Now this one. So pretty dang good.
It's almost close.
There's two ways of stretching the hamstring. If you lock the knee out and bring the leg up, you usually feel a tightness more behind the knee. If you bend the knee slightly and then bring the leg up like this, still kind of keeping tension up here, but bringing it up like this, depending on how high and low you bring this leg, you'll feel the tension down there.
I feel like right there is the attachment.
So yeah, it goes all the way down to the attachment. So then you can even ask them, like, does it feel more tension this way, more like this, right?
Yeah, much more.
So more is like I bring his leg forward this way and then straighten his leg out, you'll feel the tension all through there. So it's kind of a way of isolating different parts of the hamstring. It's probably a good thing.